Admiral Vex of the Stellar Dominion clasped his four hands together as he watched the holographic display. His compound eyes narrowed, focusing on the strange vessel that had appeared at the edge of the Dominion's territory. Impossible, he whispered. The ship, if it could even be called that, seemed to flicker in and out of existence, appearing in multiple locations simultaneously before settling into a single position. What kind of technology is this? The bridge of the Dominion flagship fell silent as officers stared at the anomaly. For 3 centuries, the Dominion had ruled this sector of space with uncontested military superiority. Their civilization had mastered faster-than-light travel 5 millennia ago, while humans had only reached the stars barely 2 centuries past. Yet there it was, the HSS Schrödinger, humanity's first quantum battleship. "Sir," reported Lieutenant Kral, "human vessel is difficult to scan. Our sensors indicate it's simultaneously powered down and at full battle readiness. It's both heavily armored and unshielded. I don't understand the readings." Admiral Vex's mandibles clicked in frustration. "Open a communication channel." The main screen flickered to life, revealing Captain Thomas of the Schrödinger. The human appeared calm, almost amused at the Dominion's confusion. "Admiral Vex, I presume?" Thomas nodded respectfully. "United Earth Space Command sends its regards." "Captain," Vex began, struggling to maintain his composure, "your vessel is violating Dominion space. Explain your presence and the nature of your ship." Thomas smiled. "We're merely demonstrating our new technology. The Schrödinger operates on quantum uncertainty principles. At any given moment, it exists in multiple states simultaneously until observed. Even when observed, we can manipulate which quantum state becomes reality." Vex's scientific advisor, Dr. Locke, approached the Admiral and whispered urgently, "Sir, if they've mastered applied quantum mechanics on this scale, they cold." "I know what it means," Vex snapped. "To the human," he said, "your species was mining iron ore when mine built our first Stargate. You expect me to believe you've leapfrogged centuries of development?" Captain Thomas shrugged. "Humanity has always excelled at thinking outside conventional boundaries. When the Dominion refused to share technology during first contact, claiming we weren't evolutionarily prepared, we decided to chart our own path." On the Dominion bridge, Tactical Officer Mira was frantically analyzing data. "Admiral, our weapon systems can't maintain a lock. The targeting computers show a human ship in multiple positions simultaneously." "The Schrödinger isn't just one battleship," Thomas continued. "It's every possible configuration of a battleship existing in quantum superposition. When we engage in combat, we can collapse the waveform to whichever version gives us tactical advantage." The implications hit Admiral Vex like a gravitational shockwave. A vessel that could essentially choose its reality during battle would be nearly invincible. It could select the reality where enemy shots missed, where its own weapons were perfectly calibrated, where damage was minimal. "This is merely a courtesy call," Thomas said. "The United Earth Space Command wanted the Dominion to understand humanity's new position in the galactic community. Your empire has expanded unchallenged for too long, annexing developing worlds and harvesting their resources." Vex bristled. "You dare threaten the Dominion?" "Not a threat, Admiral. An introduction." Thomas gestured around his bridge. "Humanity has built 5 quantum ships so far. The Schrödinger is just the first to introduce itself." The science officer's voice trembled as she reported, "Admiral, the human ship just deployed quantum torpedoes. They exist in a state of both having been fired and not fired." "What does that even mean?" Vex demanded. "It means," Thomas explained calmly, "that until observed, our weapons both have and haven't struck your vessel. Schrödinger's cat, Admiral, simultaneously alive and dead until the box is opened." Vex felt something he hadn't experienced in his 2-century military career. "Fear. What do you want?" "The Dominion will immediately cease expansion into developing systems. You will establish diplomatic relations with Earth as equals, not as technological superiors. And you will share your FTL technology with species you've previously deemed unprepared. Or we open the box, Admiral, and see if your flagship is alive or dead." For several tense moments, The only sound on the Dominion bridge was the soft hum of life support systems. Vex's mind raced through scenarios, calculating odds and outcomes. With conventional weapons, the Dominion fleet could obliterate any human force. But these weren't conventional weapons. Very well, Vex finally conceded. The Dominion will consider your terms. Thomas nodded. Excellent. Our diplomats will contact yours within the week. Until then, we'll leave this sector as a show of good faith. The Schrödinger began to fade from view, not disappearing entirely but becoming increasingly indistinct, as if it were spreading itself across countless parallel realities. As the quantum battleship departed, Dr. Locke approached Admiral Vex. Sir, if we had fought, we would have discovered whether we were alive or dead. Vex finished grimly. I've seen enough to know the Dominion Council must be informed immediately. The balance of power has shifted. Lieutenant Krall looked troubled. How did they advance so quickly? From primitive rocketry to quantum mechanics in 2 centuries? Admiral Vex watched the space where the human ship had been because we underestimated them. We saw their short lives and judged them impulsive and limited. But their very brevity drives them to innovation we cannot comprehend. He turned away from the view screen. Humanity doesn't wait for the future to arrive. They force it into existence through sheer determination. The Dominion would adapt, as it always had, but for the first time in living memory, it would do so as an equal, not a superior. The age of unchallenged Dominion rule had ended with humanity's quantum leap.